Welcome, everybody, to Phenomenal Fantasy Wrestling. My name is David. I'll be your host for this vlog, I guess. So you may be asking yourself, what is Phenomenal Fantasy Wrestling? That is a group I put together on Facebook. We draw our rosters. I watch and score multiple shows. You get points based on who you pick. Same as fantasy football or any other fantasy sports thing you do. We do tag teams. We do Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW, Impact. We have 4 wildcard slots. One must be a female. One must be a member of NWA, Ring of Honor, or Major League Wrestling. That's new for Season 3, which we are going into. And I put them all in one slot because, they only have a 1-hour show each week. Not many room for points. Not featured every week. So it's just going to be easier to put them in one category for now for this season. I know MLW is starting to get on Vice. So they may do a little more going forward. At that point, we may do something else with them for next season. But for this season, we'll begin July 17th with the Impact Slammiversary. July 18th with Money in the Bank. So a big weekend to start out Season 3 with a bang. We're going to draft our rosters on July 10th. 10 spots. We've got about 20 players right now. The first 2 seasons have been amazing. A lot of great guys in there. And basically, are we the only fantasy wrestling league out there? Of course not. There are others. I play in others. I've taken inspiration from those others and brought them over to what I've been doing. Because I feel like what I'm doing is elevating what the others have done. These ones will do this, but they won't do this. Most of them won't do AEW Dark and Elevation. They won't score those because they're taped shows. Same with Impact. They don't include Ring of Honor or MLW because, they only do the big ones. And, yeah, sure, the big ones are great, but who generally watches the big ones? If you're a wrestling fan now, who doesn't watch it all? I try to watch as much as possible. Last weekend, I was at a New South Action Clash taping, which airs on Independent Wrestling TV. This Saturday, I'll be going to a TWE Chattanooga show. Those also get taped for Independent Wrestling TV. If you have a subscription to IWTV, check those out. They are phenomenal. Now, of course, they get big names come in. New South had Dominic Guarini from Major League Wrestling put on a clinic. It was an amazing match. And being at a show like that, you could really tell who the die-hard wrestling fans were compared to the, I watch it on TV for the entertainment part. Because he put on a clinic. It was a mat wrestling. It was an amazing match, but you really had to appreciate wrestling to love it. And there were a lot of fans in attendance who did not. They thought it was boring, or they thought because they don't appreciate the real wrestling of it. They only enjoy the sports entertainment. I love both. I've been watching wrestling since I was... the first thing I remember was WrestleMania 3. My grandfather ordered it on pay-per-view. I remember watching that with him. It is amazing. I'm sure I watched things leading up to that. I'm sure I watched things around that before then, but that's the first one I really remember. And I've never stopped watching wrestling after that. Or, of course I have to take breaks here and there because sometimes my wife gets a little bit, you're too obsessed, you're too into it, you're paying too much attention to that, not to me. She does watch it with me here and there. She's not watched it in a while. Maybe this videos will be about me trying to get her back into it. We're going to do a lot of stuff on these videos. I'll talk to you about wrestling. I'll go on rants about wrestling. I listen to Busted Open Radio every once in a while, and all I can do is yell at the friggin' radio in the car because I'm not a big fan of David LaGreca. The guy he has no clue what he's talking about. He thinks he does, but the guy is clueless. Absolutely. Don't get me started there. I'll do unboxings on this channel. I get the Pro Wrestling Crate monthly subscription box. And if you look on the wall behind me, the autographs, the micro brawlers, the pins, I get all that. I love to put them on the wall here. It's great. We'll do figure hunts. Not that you can find many out there on the wild. I did find Orange Cassidy and the Young Bucks Series 3 in Walmart not long ago. My wife was able to find me Riho in Walmart. I've been obsessed with Funko Pops lately. Got Kane, Undertaker, Edge, Elias, The Miz, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch. Would love to get The Fiend. That would be amazing. A little expensive, but if I could find one cheap, that would be great. I've also started doing movie and TV show Funko Pops. I would love to get the Crow. I know it was a Hot Topic exclusive, wasn't out for very long, but it's very expensive right now. My next thing I want to collect from Funko Pops are the rock stars. I've seen Freddie Mercury, Rob Zombie, Axl Rose and Slash. Would love to collect those next. So that's basically what we're doing here. I'm going to talk to you about wrestling. I'm going to go over the weekly shows. Everybody talking about WrestleMania Backlash this past weekend and complaining about the zombies. Was I a fan of the zombies? No. Do I understand why they had the zombies on the show? Of course. You're promoting Army of the Dead with Batista. Batista asked you to promote his movie. You're going to promote his movie. They love to keep the legends like that happy. And do I consider Batista a legend? Not really. Not a big Batista fan. But he's gone on to do big things. So keep him happy. He comes back every once in a while and gets a big pop and, get you some ratings. Of course, you're going to do whatever it is to keep him happy. Even if that means having zombies on a pay-per-view. Same thing about The Rock. Anytime, The Rock has something coming out, WWE is going to shove it down your throats because he's The Rock. Again, I'm not a big fan of The Rock. But he comes back, he does his little spill, and we buy it. We eat it up, and Vince loves it. So, of course, he's going to do what he needs to do to keep the guys happy. There's also Blood and Guts this past couple weeks ago. Everybody saying set the world back 30 years. I wasn't a big fan of the finish of the match. The match was great. The finish, of course, throwing him off of the cage. AEW is about tradition in the aspect of Cody Rhodes trying to give Dusty Rhodes, he created the War Games match, so you wanted to give it to... He wanted to do it right, and he didn't. They should have never been outside the cage. I guess they wanted like a big Mick Foley spot moment. They didn't get that in it. And in the early 90s, 80s, you didn't see them get out of the cage. They never got out of the cage. The most you got was El Gigante getting into the cage to save Flying Brian when Sid Vicious powerbombed him a few times in War Games 91. They didn't get out of the cage. They shouldn't have gotten out of the cage for this. They surely should not have tried to throw him off the cage and do it the way they did. Of course, you want to keep safety is your number one concern. So I'm okay with what he landed on, and whether it looked good or not, you got to be safe with Chris Jericho. Jericho's the man. So basically, that's what I'm going to do every week. I'm going to come out here. I'm going to talk to you about wrestling. If you want to go on to Phenomenal Fantasy Wrestling on Facebook, join our group. We start out in July. It's a fun time. We've got about 20 people. We converse in the chat. I score the shows. So if you don't get to watch the shows or you miss it, at least you got the score there. You know what happened, as far as who won, who appeared on the show, it's great stuff. It's fun. After the draft, you really don't do much other than on Fridays when I put up a trade thread. If you want to drop somebody who didn't do much this week and pick up somebody who may do better later. If you want to trade with somebody else, not much of that goes on. You would think there'd be more of it, but there's not. But there's always, dropping and picking up from the free agency. Also, this season, I am debuting the head-to-head matchups. So there'll be a lot more to keep people into it. My wife plays with us, so it could be husband versus wife. My sister and her husband play, so it could be husband versus wife. It could be a tag team, husband and wife versus husband and wife. That could be fun. But however we do it, we're going to pick and choose. I haven't really dove into that yet. I've got a month or so to do it to figure out how we're going to do this. But it'll be fun. The head-to-head matchups is just to keep people invested in the game, because we're going to go from July 17th all the way to WrestleMania. So this will be our longest season. I did the first 2 seasons just to see how it worked, how well I did with it. We cut the second season a little bit short because the guy who won it blew us all out of the water. I came close to getting up there, getting up there with him, but he blew us all out of the water. I was dropping people left and right, trying to pick up and trying to get as many points as I could, but he didn't hardly make any moves. And he had Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, and they destroyed it in the points. So, you never know who you're going to get who does the points. John Silver from the Dark Order. He had more points than you would have expected because we do the appearance points. You get 5 points for every time somebody appears on the screen. Up to 5 appearances in a show. And yeah, there are some that get all 5 appearances in a show. There was one where Edge got 6 or 7, but we cut it down. I limited to 5 because, it seems fair. Because you had the Hurt Business who were showing up 4 or 5 times. You have the Dark Order who comes out every time one of their people wrestle. So that's, back to back points. Just trying to make it fair to everybody, so I cut it down to 5 appearances max. The next video I will be shooting will be an unboxing. My Pro Wrestling Crate went out today, so as soon as I get it, I will unbox it. We'll sit here, we'll see what cool stuff I got. Love Pro Wrestling Crate. It's wonderful. Pro Wrestling Tees. I've bought plenty of shirts from them. Love that Danhausen. I'm telling you. I'm obsessed right now with Danhausen. Me and my kids sit there and watch him every morning before they go into school, sitting in the car. Bought this shirt a couple weeks ago. Amazing how many people compliment me on this shirt and know who Danhausen is. It's wonderful. That guy is incredible. For people who say there are no characters left in wrestling, kayfabe is dead. This guy, he keeps it alive. You watch his videos, he is in full character. He's hilarious. He does interviews out of character, of course, but overall, he stays in character. He is hilarious. If you've not checked out Danhausen, check out Love That Danhausen. Worth every watch, I'm telling you. I guess that'll be it for this video. Check us out, Phenomenal Fantasy Wrestling on Facebook. Join the group. Come do the draft with us. It will be worth every moment. Check it out. Love you guys. Bye.